I didn't realize the last time you recorded was 2 months ago.
It was a long time ago.
I thought for sure there was another one in between.
I had to go back and check, and I didn't.
Los Olivos. I thought we recorded since then.
Definitely not. Let's start here. Okay, yeah, you chew your pretzel, and I'm gonna start. Basically, I at my rehab have been figuring out what I want my schedule to be and whatever, and trying to figure it out. There's a cognitive portion, a physical portion, an education portion, whatever. So I'm like just feeling like I'm not really benefiting from the education portion, which Erica already knows, but it's like doing like math on scratch paper and like, which to be fair, I'm not good at, but like I also don't need it in my day-to-day life.
Right.
And like their rationale is like, well, what if you go to the yogurt? And you're like, I mean, no, that's not looking good for me. What if you go to the grocery store and you charge for an extra yogurt? And I'm just like, it's okay.
Right. Like it's
I
like,
don't care.
Yeah.
You know, like I'll be okay with it.
Right.
And then there's like reading comprehension.
Like
and
to
whatever.
be fair, I'm probably overcharged for things. Like
Yeah.
I don't
all the time.
like, I don't like balance out. But if my mom's listening, she'll be very mad.
Yeah.
But I don't balance things out to the cent. Like
No.
I'm sure I'm overcharged yogurts and I don't know about it.
Right. And I'm just like, it's okay.
Right.
And so I was saying today to my therapist, I was like, well, I understand that like everybody's cognitive levels of functioning are different, but I just don't really feel like I need to be doing like reading comprehension at the 11th grade level, like on a daily basis. Like that doesn't feel like a good use of my time. And there's other things I could be doing instead that would be helpful. Like if anyone was to like talk to me, no one would be like, what are you, 8? Yeah. Like, what are you, a baby?
Right.
You can't do anything?
Yeah.
Like, they would be like, you're an adult person who's lived a life and somehow passed math and did reading comprehension. Like I just feel like there's a better use of my time. So anyways, that's all to say I have my schedule figured out. So
what is it?
It's basically going to be PT 3 times a week, OT 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Then cognitive 3 times a week.
Okay.
Education.
Wait.
But let me tell you.
Okay.
Wait, this is good. So she was talking about like, she's like, I used to be one of the education people, and like, what do you want to do with that time? And I was like, because she was just like, do you like just not want to be at this place? And I was like, no, it's literally just, I feel like I want to do something that's going to add value to my life.
Right.
And I was telling her about how we want to start maybe some sort of foundation or some sort of charity or whatever. She's like, well, why don't you work on that during education?
Oh.
Like bring in your computer and like we can work on that. And I'm like, oh, okay, great.
That's great.
Yeah. So like bring in my computer, work on that. Like,
okay.
Have like a designated time and space to do that.
Okay.
So I was like, that sounds like a great idea.
Wow.
Cool. So they were like very accommodating.
That's good. I like that.
And then, I mean, the other things that I don't like doing, I'll probably still have to do some of them. But
really?
Like some of it's just like their process. Like, I don't know. It's like you reach a certain level and you just like have to keep going until you reach that level. To be honest, I just don't really like the exercises. I'm of the belief that they're not really helpful to my life.
Yeah.
But apparently someone at some point just did research who worked there that found that this was going to improve outcomes.
For what kind of outcomes?
Great question, Erica. Like no one has an answer for me.
Okay, yeah.
So that's the thing. I kind of stopped asking questions because I'm like, they don't really have the info. Because I was asking the other therapists, like, have you done this at other places that you've worked? And they're like, no. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. It's like, why?
I was like, why do I need to know like how much a phone weighs? Like, is that a good use of my time?
Right. It's like, what is that going to actually generalize to?
Do I need to know like how much a gorilla weighs? Like
a lot.
Yeah, like if I said like 1 pound, then you could be like, okay, Jordy, like we have to like really go back to the drawing board here because you're way off. But if it's like one of the things, like it's actually more like 11.5, not 12. And they're like, don't worry, I'll get better at this over time. And I'm like, I don't want to get better at this over time. Like, I just don't want to get better at it, like, because I don't need it.
For sure. You don't need it.
Right. So it's like, what if we just spent time doing something that's actually applicable?
That's annoying. I thought you were going to have to not do education.
That's cognitive. That one. No, education is math and the reading.
And you don't need to do that anymore.
No, I don't do that.
So you're going less often
to education.
No, I thought like Like you're only going 4 days a week.
No, they changed it.
Jordy, what? You told me this morning.
I know.
Like what?
They don't put out the schedule until the day of, so
I'm confused.
Basically,
I thought you weren't going today. I'm so confused.
They thought I was just like trying to bounce, and I was like, I'm not trying to leave. And then when I was talking to someone, they were like,
well, what if you said you were trying to bounce? So they then give you.
Then they would be like, okay, like bounce. Okay. But I was like, no, I feel like I'm benefiting from things here, but like not everything. And then they were like, oh, well, like your education specialist is like going on maternity leave, and I'm like, it literally has nothing to do with her. Like it's not personal.
God. Wow.
Yeah, and I was like,
wait. So what is your wait?
So my schedule is I'm gonna have PT 3 times a week.
No. Are you going 5 days a week?
Yeah. OT.
But you told me today you're going 4.
Erica, I don't know what to tell you. Everything's changed. OT 3 times a week. PT
Okay.
3 times a week. Education / counseling.
How can it be / counseling? Those are
Because
math / therapy.
It's basically me meeting with my therapist and or me working on my own project.
I just feel like those are 2 completely different things.
We're just going with it.
Okay.
But they said if you have other things you want to do or whatever, they're open to it.
Okay. So I was meaning to tell you this. So you know how I do like virtual reality therapy. The business, whatever, the VR company that I use, they have been bought out multiple times, and now it's like kind of insane because I used to pay like 30% of what they're charging now, and they're giving you less access to things. But I had a call with them, and they have cognitive rehab and physical therapy, and I almost wanted to buy those just to do it with you.
Oh, Erica, you're so sweet. You don't need to do that though.
Yeah, I was like, maybe I won't do it for my clinical practice. I'll do it for you.
Do it for Jordy.
Because I was so curious, and it said like it helps with movement and mobility.
I mean, that makes sense to me.
And you should ask them to invest in.
Yeah, can you please
XR Health virtual reality?
Yeah, my friend says she uses this thing, and you guys really got to get it.
Yeah, I mean, if they're gonna.
No, I know. So that's why I'm just like the body stuff is more like usable for me every single day, like whatever. So they're listening to me, they're hearing me out.
I would say kind of.
I would say they're willing to compromise on some things. Like
I
they're willing to not do education like the way they want to do it.
Okay.
And they'll let me just write up my own proposal for my own charity.
Okay, great.
Like sounds good. Like a good use of my own time. Thank you very much.
Okay. So 5 days a week.
5 days a week. Yes.
Is it still at the same hours?
Yeah. So it's fine. I'm fine with that.
I feel like we're talking about something current, but like there's like a big elephant.
No, I know.
Okay.
We'll get to the elephant. I don't know what's the elephant.
How much does an elephant weigh?
Is it 2 tons? No, I don't know. I think it's probably 1 ton. 1 ton. I think 1 ton is 800 pounds.
Okay, I was gonna
Something
say
like
500 pounds.
I
See,
think an
Ramsey
elephant
is
more
so
than
good at
500.
this. Ramsey's really good at like he would be on like The Price is Right.
Yeah, see, like I just don't care enough. It's like when they're asking me these questions, I'm like, I actually don't care.
Yeah.
And I learned about so many fish today, and they're all scary.
Wait, what do you mean? Oh my God, did you learn about the anglerfish? Oh, it's 4,000 to 15,000 pounds.
Oh, really? I said 200.
I said 500.
Oh. Yeah, I know. I'm like, an elephant's huge.
I was thinking of like a small elephant. Literally 8,000 to 13,000 pounds. I also...
Wait, what's an anglerfish?
It's 2 to 5 tons.
Wait, tell me what an anglerfish is?
So there's this whole like Gen Z thing about the anglerfish are the ones that are in the depths of the ocean and have their own light. They like produce their own light. They're like the scary fish.
Oh, right.
And an anglerfish apparently has never been seen close to the surface.
Okay.
And like this anglerfish like died, but before it died, it swam all the way up to see the light it couldn't produce. It looked.
Whoa.
Yeah, and
That's sad.
I know.
It's like kind of dark.
It is.
It couldn't see its own light, so it had to swim up to see the sun.
Well, it had its own light, but it wanted to see light
more.
Yeah.
It wanted the sun.
Died.
And then it died.
Yeah, but apparently an anglerfish has never been seen at the surface.
This is not the fish I learned about.
Oh, okay. What'd you learn
I don't know
about?
what it was called, which is probably not a good sign for me.
It's fine. I thought an elephant weighed 500 pounds.
I think 500 pounds would be more like some sort of like monkey, like maybe an orangutan.
I mean, for sure, when I actually think about it.
Like, you literally been around elephants. Like,
No,
you're
because,
huge.
like, I think about like me, Ramsey, and one other person. We make 500. Like, obviously, an elephant weighs more than 3 humans.
Right. So this is where they're getting at.
But it was just like a thought. Sometimes I just say things and I don't think about it.
That's what I mean. I'm just like, I don't really care how much something weighs or like how long it is.
Yeah. It's like my brother-in-law, if like you ask him a question, he'll like actually like put care and importance. I just say shit. That doesn't matter.
They said a football. How long is it? I said a foot. And they said, no, it's more like 11.5 inches. I'm like, are you kidding?
Wow.
You're kidding. Like,
Wow.
that's basically a foot.
Wow.
Same shit.
I was going to say 11 and we're both the same.
Right. And I'm just like, at that point, does it matter? Like, what's the exercise for? Accuracy?
Right.
Like, no. It's supposed to be about like word recall and finding, you know, like flexibility of the mind. Like, I don't know. Anyways.
Okay, well, I guess we could also get to current.
We can move forward from this conversation, but
I'm going to have one more bite of this.
yeah, take the white. Because I like the chocolate part, so we're a good pair.
We're a good pair. So 2 months ago.
Right. We had a really yummy cake or something.
We did a yummy cake. And then we got back to LA, and then Ryan, my son, got RSV, pneumonia, and strep.
Right.
And then the fires broke out in LA.
Yeah.
So I think we were like a little out of commission. Then
everyone was out of commission.
Yeah. Like I fled LA, then I get back, and like 5 days later, Ryan gets hospitalized again. But in between that time, before Ryan got hospitalized, you got hospitalized. And when I say before, I mean like the day before.
Literally the day before. Erica was upstairs with her baby.
And then I left him and then came upstairs to give you a hug. And I'm like, what the fuck is life?
It was crazy. Basically, I didn't know it was possible to get stuck in a contraction position. Like, basically your muscles are like so contracted that you get stuck.
Well, and before that, like you had been... There were some signs that you were struggling to move your body more.
Yes. So like my body was becoming more stiff, and I was getting this thing that's called clonus, which is like spasms and stuff like that. And so I was like, okay, this feels weird, but like there was medicine you can take for it, which I was. And then they were like, maybe you should try Botox because that'll help with like how tight your vessels are and like just help them like relax. So that was the plan.
But then in the meantime,
like while I was waiting to like start those things,
you started having the spasms more. It was harder to get out of bed. And then all of a sudden you were telling me that you had to put heat on your leg for 45 minutes before you got out of bed.
Literally get out of bed.
And I was like, this doesn't seem right.
Yeah. So then one morning I woke up and my leg was bent into like my chest kind of.
It was like a flamingo.
Like a flamingo position, and it literally just couldn't get it out. I couldn't move. So then we had to call the paramedics to like come get me, only because I couldn't get into the car.
Yeah. But also it really hurt you.
It really hurt, but also like I couldn't find a way to get into the car.
Yeah, I mean I
couldn't walk. I couldn't get into my chair.
You couldn't extend your leg.
Couldn't extend my leg. There were many problems. So thank goodness, went to the doctor. They figured that out. I got some Botox. Doing much better now.
Really oversimplified and like
I know we're just gonna like run through it, but
okay. It was like a really terrible.
It was like a really terrible time. I was just sort of like, am I ever gonna like move again? Like,
I mean, I had those same thoughts.
Yeah, I was like, is this the end for Jordy? Like, is she gonna be okay? And by she, I mean myself.
By she, I mean me.
Yeah, I'm just like, I just don't know if I'm ever gonna like recover from this, and if this is going to be the rest of my life.
I knew what was
my doctors were saying like, this doesn't seem like in line with your diagnosis, and I'm like,
yeah, they're like, I'm sorry, we're stumped. That's what they said in the ER.
We've never seen this. And I'm like, okay, cool. So the people who are treating my rare brain disease don't know. They've never seen it before. There's no like real solution except for maybe get some Botox in there. I can't do physical therapy, which was like the thing that was going to keep me going. Yeah. Because I can't move. So it was just sort of like a dark time of being like, how will I move forward from here.
Yeah.
So I went to the hospital. The hope was like get some good drugs in me.
Which it took like 30 hours
to get a while to get that going. But eventually we did get some drugs in there, and they were able to get me in for the Botox, and they were able to break the contraction. Very painful, but they did it.
By like just
literally just
manipulating
my limbs. And yeah, so had amazing people like on my side at UCLA helping pull everything off.
Yeah.
Very grateful and super happy to not be in that position anymore, because that was scary. I didn't know that you'd get stuck. It was very low. And so like I was really in a dark place. I was just like, is this like the decline?
Yeah.
Like, is this the decline of GBM? Like, or is this like some other thing that no one knows? Like,
I mean, I asked myself those same questions.
And then like they were literally like, okay, well, like let's do some like back MRIs, you know, like spine. Let's make sure it hasn't spread to your spine. You know, like worst case scenario, it spread to your spine. And like that's what you're experiencing. I'm like, cool. So that
you couldn't even get the MRI at first?
I couldn't get the MRI because
and then I told them to drug you.
Yeah, because I couldn't move my body. They were like trying to get me to stop shaking.
No, yes, that's what it was, because you were spasming.
I was spasming, and they're like, you need to stay still. I'm like, dude, I can't stop moving. Like, it's not a voluntary thing.
And then they're like, we can try some drugs. I'm like, do it.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, give me some Valium. Like,
and then I was like, I'm going to feel so guilty if I just told them to drug you and it doesn't work. And now you're just really high and like mad.
No, but it worked out.
You got really high
I got really high fast, and then it was fine. And yeah, so it was like just a really long and winding road, and some dark moments on that road of being like,
yeah,
what is my quality of life right now, and what will it be? Will it ever be good? And by good, I mean, can I move?
Yeah.
And like participate in my life? Because my quality of life already, as we know,
right,
isn't great because I have terminal brain cancer.
Yeah.
So I'm not shooting for the stars here. But
no, I know. But I think at that point it was just like,
how much worse could it get? You know, that's the game we were playing.
Yeah, I mean, like you were for a couple days like bedridden.
Yeah, and I was just like, this was not the plan.
Not the plan.
Like I couldn't go to the bathroom unassisted. I couldn't like do anything by myself. Just not, it's like not how I imagined it, because I was like fully of sound mind. So like I think that was the hard part. It was like, okay, at least like if I'm gonna go out, like take my mind with it. Like like leave me here. Like, you know, like just like I don't want to be I don't want to be awake or present for this.
I know.
But I was very much awake and present. But
yeah, we had some like pretty dark conversations.
There were some like really, 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 really dark conversations. And so those are not happening anymore.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing.
It's crazy, like they're not happening anymore, and like yet this happened 2 weeks ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. It's kind of crazy like how time feels like so fast, and also it's slow.
Well, because every time I see you, like you're
in a different place.
Yeah, well, I saw you, and then you told me, okay, I can't walk for an indeterminate amount of time. Then the next time I see you, like 36 hours later, you're telling me that you can walk and I don't need to spot you. And I'm like really confused in a good way.
Yeah.
But it's just hard to know like what the fuck is happening.
I know. I feel the same exact way. And we have this conversation because sometimes you're like, I want to know like what you're thinking, and like I want to like get inside your head. And I'm like, the thing is like I don't even know what's happening in there.
I know.
Like I can't keep you updated because I don't know.
Right.
It changes every fucking second. I don't know how to keep track.
I know. I'm like, I'm just like along for the ride.
I know, you're along for the journey, which I love. So yeah, it's just been a weird time. But all things considered, not like such bad news from like my oncology team.
Right.
So sounds weird to say that. Well, when it's paired with like
your scan is clear. That was the confusing thing.
Right. That's why they were confused. They're like, your scan looks better than the last one. Yeah, this doesn't make sense.
It would have made sense in that moment to have for the scan to have not been clear given your symptoms.
Right. So I was just expecting like, oh, like my cancer's back and like everything's worse and I'm just going to decline and it's going to go terrible. But then like my scan was good, and then
everyone's like, well, we don't know.
Like, we don't know what's wrong with you. Let's just like check every box.
I mean, the fact that things got better when they didn't think it could have with those interventions.
I mean, yeah, no one knew what was happening is what I realized. They just didn't know.
They didn't know.
Once they sent me to the other lady, the Botox lady, she knew.
Right.
No one else had any clue what was happening.
It's like sucks.
Yeah. So thank goodness for her. Thank goodness that she's part of that team.
I know. And that you got to see her so quickly.
And I got to see her so quickly. And
like, you don't have clonus right now.
No. Like, I don't have the spasms anymore.
At all?
Like in my wrist a little, but I didn't get any Botox there. Wow. So that makes sense.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Because I was counting your contractions, like labor contractions.
I know, right?
In the hospital, and it was every 1 to 3 minutes.
It was crazy.
And your leg was so
tired and tight. I know, and it's still tight, but it's so much more relaxed now. I can't even explain.
I know, I felt so bad because I just wanted to tell your leg to stop it.
I know, everyone wanted to just chop my leg off.
Yeah.
Let's just get rid of it. But yeah, so in a different place now.
I'm glad.
This will lead me into my next.
Okay, yeah. I feel like there's a mystery that I don't know about.
It's not a mystery. But so basically, no, it's not a surprise. So I don't even know where I was going. Hold on. My mind wanders.
I mean, same.
So I've been having trouble sleeping recently.
Mm-hmm.
Some of that is because at night I have to wear a foot brace and a wrist brace.
Oh, you do wear them?
Oh, I have to.
Okay. Well, I think you had to before.
Yeah,
you didn't.
Yeah, and I think that was part of the problem. So basically now I'm just actually gonna do every single thing they tell me to do. Yeah. But it's really hard to sleep with them because they're super uncomfortable and they put my leg in a position that it doesn't like, obviously.
Sure.
And so it sucks. So it keeps me up at night, and then that keeps me up, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I'm already awake. I'm not gonna be able to go back to sleep anyways. I may as well just make lists of things to do.
Yeah, that was a new thing to make lists.
Yeah.
Over the last few weeks.
Yeah. So I started making lists what should I do tomorrow? What are the things I haven't taken care of yet? Okay, what movies do I want to watch?
Why?
I haven't seen any of the Oscar nominees,
Wow.
Just things.
Okay.
Lists of things.
Maybe you should do that in education.
They did literally put on a movie today, and then I texted Hank and I was like, there's a movie on. I was just
no, not to watch movies, to create lists.
Right. No, I know.
Of what
there
movies.
was a movie
What
on.
movie?
The McDonald's movie.
Why?
I don't know. I didn't ask why.
It's when there's a substitute teacher and they don't know what else to do.
I feel the idea was to split our attention, but
no.
It was not.
I mean, I did like the McDonald's movie, but still.
Yeah, it wasn't great. Not that the movie wasn't great.
Just the whole setup.
The whole thing.
You could be at home watching the McDonald's
That's what I was saying to him. I'm I could be home watching a movie. If I wanted to watch this movie, I just watch it at home.
For sure.
Or on an airplane or something.
Okay, but anyway, you're making lists.
Anyways, I'm making lists, and then I start doing all this thinking. And, thinking is sort of dangerous when it's nighttime or middle of the night. Because then it's it can go really dark.
Sure.
Or really productive. Or obscure.
Okay. I feel like I got an obscure text.
Yeah, so it wasn't obscure. Yours was obscure, kind of. But I was
Did you send texts to other people in the middle of the night?
No, I started having a conversation with Hank in the middle of the night. And he was
what?
I was just I'll tell you later.
Okay.
But yes, I texted Erica in the middle of the night because I felt like I had a revelation. I don't know. I don't believe in
led
Jesus.
You
but
to the text? That's what I want to know.
So this is what I'm gonna show you.
Oh, okay. There you have pictures.
I literally have notes.
Okay.
So I pull out my notes app on my phone. Okay. Some of this is gonna be kind of sad.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Where am I? Okay. So, I said, this feels hard to admit to myself. Hold on. I've just been existing, waiting to die. Sorry, this got dark.
Yeah, it did.
Rather than living. I'm here, so what do I want to do? Who do I want to be? How do I want to spend my time? These are hard questions. The former is easier, meaning just existing. And it requires so much less effort to just exist. I'm not really sure what to do with this revelation, but I just wanted to note it. It's not congruous with who I have always been. Do I want to focus in on this foundation, the podcast, or on groups for terminally ill people? I'm still here. What can I offer the world, my community, my loved ones with this borrowed, unlikely time? It feels very scary to let hope enter the equation. But what is the alternative? Stay stagnant? Stop striving for a better life? Or a better me? This is complicated stuff to be pondering on a Wednesday at midnight. But here we are. Isn't this what I've been terrified of to lose? Time? Well, I have some now, and I need to figure out how I'm going to spend it. Tomorrow I need to record a podcast with Erica.
We're a couple days late.
Okay. So that was my reason for texting you.
Okay.
So I basically texted Erica saying, I think I've reached like self-actualization.
Did you know what you were thinking about when you said self-actualization?
Yeah, like Maslow's hierarchy.
Okay, yeah.
You know, like I just feel like I reached a point where I was like, oh, like I understand that I need to like make something of my life. Mm-hmm. And I've just been like sort of coasting.
Yeah.
And like I wouldn't call it coasting because like again, like we're gonna be real and say I have GBM. Like that's not coasting.
Correct.
But like I'm just existing.
Yeah.
You know?
I think there were a few weeks where you were existing more.
For sure. But I think even now, like not now in this moment, but I think what's scary is like I became almost used to it, the idea of like dying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like dying soon and young. And I was just like, oh, like that's just going to be my life. And then when I think about the alternative, that scares me more.
Right.
So I'm like, then what am I going to do?
Yeah, I hear you.
Like, okay, so now I have this terminal brain disease. I can't really do the job I was doing before. Mm-hmm. I can't physically do the things I was doing before.
Sure.
I can't drive myself places. Like, there's just like so many things I can't do.
There's so many barriers.
So many barriers. I'm like, so what can I do? What am I able to do?
Yeah.
Like,
and so much of your time was like at rehab, like day to day.
Or at doctor's appointments or at whatever.
Yeah.
And like some of that will remain the same.
Sure.
But it's like I don't want that to be my life. But I was kind of in acceptance that it was going to be. Mm-hmm. And that felt like a lot more comfortable.
And then what made you think about?
Well, then I was just like, wait, like I'm still here.
Yeah.
And then I think it was the other day, like I was in this group at like a therapy group at the rehab, and there was another woman who has GBM.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which is like really rare.
Wow. It's like the first one you've met
It's the only person I've met in person who has GBM.
Wow. That's so crazy.
Yeah. And then today my therapist was like, she's older than me. My therapist was like, I kind of like set that up for you guys. Aww. I just wanted to like make it more organic, but like
that's really,
she's like more newly diagnosed, I think. But
okay.
She was just like, wow, like you're like an outlier.
Yeah.
Like you've been around like a long time.
Well, you actually, is it today? Tomorrow. You like pass the median time.
I know. And so then I was like writing like dates down of things, and I was like, I've like actually like outlived like a lot of things that I didn't think I was going to.
Right.
And so then I was like, okay, so I've been acting like I'm gonna die this whole time.
Right.
Within like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And like I'm maybe not. And like the hope is that I don't.
Correct.
But I've been assuming that I just am.
And it's like interesting that you say that, because you also like haven't been saying that out loud.
No, I've never said this out loud.
That you think you're gonna die in 5 seconds.
No, I did say that too, guys.
Not really though, because like you said it once, and then yeah,
we've done like so many crying, Erica.
No,
so many crying sessions.
But then after that, you're like, do you remember that one time we thought I was gonna die? And then I'm like, okay, so now you're thinking you're not gonna. This is where like sometimes I don't want to ask you, do you think you're gonna die or not? Like,
Oh, I think yeah. Like I
see, but I'm not going to ask you that because that's really fucking weird. So I just assume if you're not talking about it, you think you're not dying.
Oh, that's not a smart assumption.
Well, that's what I don't know. I like because I'm not going to like check it out with you of like where are you today?
No, that's fair. You don't have to.
In terms of
me not wanting to die. Not
like,
wanting to die.
Like thinking that you will.
That I will. Soon.
I mean, we did in the hospital, but that was like completely different.
Yeah, those were like very different circumstances.
Like the doctor came in and said, "I'm stumped."
Yeah.
And like we thought like that was the end.
Yeah, we were like, "Oh, okay."
That was like pretty dark.
Yeah. We're like, "Oh, like we don't know why she can't move."
Right.
Like those were days where we were like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, I think it was like hard to come out from that.
Yeah.
I will say you came out from that like pretty remarkably.
I did. I know. So that's when I'm like, when she said that to me, she was like, "I can't believe you're like still here." And I was like,
"Oh God."
Not
okay.
in a bad way.
Okay.
No, she was just like, you know, when I hear all the prognosis and like whatever, she's like,
"Wait, your therapist said this or the other
no,
GBM?"
the other GBM person. And she was just like, I see you. And I'm like, oh. You're like doing it.
Yeah.
You know? And I was like, oh, like I never thought about that. Like I'm doing it.
Right.
You know?
That's
I just been
sweet.
like, oh, like I'm going to just die. You know?
Right. I hear you. There's a difference.
So anyways, so that was when I texted Erica in the middle of the night, basically just being like, hi. It's like, don't be alarmed. It's like 6 a.m, but
it was 2:30.
Oh, 2:30 in the morning, but I'm just like having these really crazy thoughts.
I know, you were so funny because then you're like, do you want a podcast? But if you don't have the bandwidth, I'm like, you're so silly.
Well, so wait, no.
Okay. All right. Sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself.
I'm not done yet. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So hold on. Let me take a break now because, hold on.
Oh, there's more.
So then there's more because, so that was my first note. That's how it started. Blah, 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 blah. Got a podcast with Erica. Then, how did it go? Where did it go? Hold on. So that was like the beginning of my thing. It was just like, okay, I've just sort of been like going through my days and being like, I'm probably dying, as most of us are. Like we are going to.
Right.
At some point. But I've just been acting like it's happening right now. Mm-hmm. And like it's just not happening right now.
Yeah.
So like if it's not happening right now, then like what am I
doing?
doing?
What do you want to do? Yeah.
Yeah. And so.
Did you find your other part?
That's what I'm looking for.
Do you want me to help you?
No, I don't because, hold on.
Why? Why don't you want me to find it?
Okay, so I don't remember exactly what I said the first thing, but basically I was writing and then it turned into like a love letter for you.
Oh my God, what?
I was writing all these things and then all of a sudden it became I was like, oh, this is just like a love letter to Erica. And I was like, oh, I need to read this to her.
Oh, that's sweet.
So hold on a second. Okay, so this is what I said to Erica. I said, oh, this is where it was. I was like, I need to podcast with Erica tomorrow. Erica made a book to explain GBM to my 2-year-old. And she made a digital book of pictures filled with love and joy and answered all calls and texts and researched thoroughly for GBM and immersed herself in the most depressing field to become an expert on doctors and trials on alternative drugs and added my medical chart to her phone to stay on top of my appointments and my communication with doctors and advocate for me and join early morning trial calls and personally meet my out-of-state team of doctors. All within the first year of her second child's life. And built a thriving practice working with high-risk patients in need and expanding her business, developing courses to serve the TFMR community and taking beautiful care of her immunocompromised children and creating a master course. So basically my idea was...
Oh, okay.
I was like, Erica, you need to create a master course in...
Another course,
in you.
Oh, wow.
It needs to be an Erica master course.
Wow.
Because... yeah, like, and I basically said, seriously, I don't know anyone like you. I wish I could bottle your essence and share it with the world. And you could...
These are sober thoughts.
And, oh yeah, and you could monetize it. Because...
oh my God.
and you could monetize that, because true friendship, hold on, that word friendship doesn't even begin to encompass the value you bring to my life.
Oh, that's sweet.
Oh no, I might cry.
Oh.
No. Hank was like, you have to read this to her.
Why?
I don't know. Hank, this is your fault. I said, oh, this is why I said you need to like monetize it, because I joke that you're superhuman, but that's like the thing. You're not actually superhuman, and yet it feels like you are. And to be loved by you, it feels like I don't know. It feels like superhuman to be loved by you.
Oh, that's sweet.
And it feels, I don't know, it's just like, it's like an actual skill, like an allocation of where to put your time and energy, and choosing who and where and what to invest in, and a true gift to all those that are lucky to be on the receiving end of it. I think that's why this podcast has done well, because people see that, Jordy, and feel that. Oh no, I'm gonna get sad again. I'm really coming back.
Do you want to eat some cookies?
Not right now.
Okay.
Anyways, so then I said, what did I say? Blah, 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 blah. I said, oh no. Okay. I said, I hope I've been able to provide, oh God, okay, even a fraction of this for you.
Oh, Jordy. You have more than a fraction. The whole pie.
I don't think the whole pie.
No, you have.
I hope.
Can you feel my hand on your left foot?
I can feel it. And if I had been able to do that for you, then I understand why you've been so scared.
Oh.
This made me really sad. I'm scared.
Yeah. It is really sad.
Yeah. So I don't want to think about that, but anyways.
That's why in the ER, he was just like, I'm really going to miss you. Like, it just felt like your death was, like, more imminent in the ER. And I was just like, am I fucked up for saying this? But I'm, like, really going to miss you.
It's really fucked up.
And I just tell people, like, I'm going to be really fucked up.
Like, you will be. We all will be.
Yeah.
But I was just like, oh my God. Yeah, just thinking about that, and I was like, oh my God, if this is how I feel, this is gonna be how Erica feels. And
yeah.
Like, it's really not.
It's really sad.
Good. And I was like, wow, like, it's like really scary to love someone so much.
Yeah.
And
I was like, you are the holder. Also, this is a side note. This is the selfish thing. I'm like, you are the holder of my memories. And like, I actually like don't know who I'll be. Like,
I need to like make a book or something.
And I was like, isn't that kind of ironic given the fact that you are the one with brain cancer and I don't know who I am? That was
It's honestly just a whole fucked up situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just said it's very, like, I don't know. I feel like, what did I say? Oh, I just think it's, like, cool that we are not, like, bound in any way.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
we don't need to do
We're not bound by blood.
Yeah.
We're not bound by law.
Like, yeah, this is a choice.
Like, and it's been like a choice
every day
for like multiple decades.
Yeah.
You know?
I know.
And that just like is very,
it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and it's like I want to say that it's rare. Cuz like it feels rare. Like I hope it's not, because that'd be cool if other people felt this.
I know.
But I just like don't know that they do.
I know. It's pretty
and I'm just
insane.
like, we've protected this bond for like 30 years. And I'm just like so grateful to have it. And so then I said, this is my Erica love letter.
Oh.
if someone found this, they may think I'm insane. But I feel like I think we share in the same feelings.
Yeah, we do.
Which might be what makes it even more rare.
Yeah. Because otherwise it'd be delusional if it was a one-way street. Can you imagine if it was not reciprocated?
I don't know. Yeah, it would be fucked up.
It'd be like pretty.
You're sitting here just like saying,
and I'd be like, who's this chick?
In the middle of the night, I just like wrote you a love letter.
But I think I've already written them to you.
Yeah. So I was just like, it's really cool to have someone in your life for like 30 years.
Wait, did you listen and watch the photo book? It was long for Brody.
Oh, yes. So that was the other thing I meant to say. I'm going to send you a video or a picture of him. He's been wanting to watch it every single night.
Oh my God.
Which is the cutest thing ever. And he goes, with each picture, because I say stuff about each picture. Yeah. He's like, oh, so this is Mommy and Daddy's old house?
Oh,
this is Auntie Erica and Uncle Ramsey's bathroom. This is me, Emma, and Rory at the museum.
Oh.
Like, it's so cute. He like...
Well, so when we had it, Emma would watch it every night, and she would do the same. She'd be like, is this Emma or Brody?
Yeah. He's so into it. And I was like, how special is that? Like, there's just like all this shared history. And yeah, so then he's like watching that book, and that made me emotional. And then I was like,
no.
So then it like followed me into my sleep.
And I'm so sorry.
No, don't be sorry. It was great. But anyways, that was my.
I wish I had my love letter just like ready to go, because I mean like you don't need it. I feel it. Okay.
I feel it all the time. You don't even need
you?
it. Yeah, you don't need to write me a thing. I feel it all the time.
Okay.
You literally made my son a book that says Mommy loves you, and taught him what GBM was.
I know.
And then created a digital book for him with Wheels on the Bus and his goodnight song with all these pictures.
I know. Hank's like, why'd you do Wheels on the Bus? Like, what other song would you use, Hank? It's
literally his favorite song. He's like, Mommy, do you hear that song? It's Wheels on the Bus.
But you know what I did do? I didn't use words. I did the lyrical Wheels on the Bus.
You mean the instrumental?
Yes. What did I say? Lyrical. Not lyrical.
Yeah.
Instrumental.
No, I know. He still knows what it is.
For sure.
Yeah. But no,
because then I was like, what language would I do?
And then he's like, oh my God, this is better together. I'm like, I know, Brody.
Aww.
He wants to read it every single night. It's the cutest thing ever.
That is sweet.
So yeah, so I'm like, you need to create a course on friendship, how to support your friend with terminal illness. Like, there's just something here, and we're monetizing it, and your dad's gonna be proud of us. And God. That was my.
That's so funny.
That was my 3 a.m. And then I said it's 3 a.m. now, and I'm supposed to go to rehab in the morning. Oh well.
Did you end up going?
Yeah. But yeah. But all that to say,
that makes more sense now from the text I got from you, because I was like, this isn't how you normally send me text.
I mean, it was very frantic.
And you have sent 2 a.m. texts, but it's like, I love you, or just like
there's a more like emotion or something there.
Yeah, I was like, there's something here, and I'm not quite sure what's going on.
And then it's like I was sort of waiting to like talk to you about it in person, but then like I don't know, one of your kids is sick, and then I'm sick, and then Brody's sick, and then it's just never can happen.
Well, I love you so much.
I love you too. That was really heavy and like a lot, but
I know I wasn't expecting a love letter.
I know, but yeah, I just basically realized, I started talking about my life. Oh, it's an Erica love letter. And then Hank was like, and then for a second I was like, is Hank gonna be upset?
He wasn't.
No, he's like, you need to read this to her, like on the podcast. I'm like, of course you want to like do
it on the podcast.
Hank would. So he was like, you need to read it to her, like before you read any of the other things, just read it to her. And I was like, that's so sweet.
That is so sweet.
So that was me reading you my love letter to you.
I like that. Yeah. And I love you so much.
I know. And I know it's been a hard go of it.
Yeah, I mean, it was like pretty fucked up when like you and Ryan were hospitalized and in the
same floors apart
in the same hospital. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was not chill. That was not okay.
Not chill.
No. I hope that's the end of hospitalizations
for both
for a long time.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's been a long road. It's been a long and winding road.
But you have been clear scan.
Yeah,
more
that's
this
what I was gonna say.
in Boston.
So what's kind of crazy is that I think at this point this is like the longest I've gone with having a clear scan. Not clear, but stable, right?
Well,
because my original was August to March.
Right. August, September, October, November, December, January, February. Like a little longer, but also you had like so much chemo radiation at first that like that's always why it usually it's like every reoccurrence is like shorter amount of time.
Yeah.
And this is longer than the last
one. And so I'm just and that's the other thing I was thinking when she said like, oh, when the lady said like, oh, like you're still here.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, like I'm still here.
You're still here.
And I was like, oh, I've done a lot to try and stay here.
Yes.
Like I moved to Boston.
Right.
I did a very risky clinical trial. I did another clinical trial. Like I've done all these things to try and
now you're doing other like immunotherapy and
I'm trying really hard to like be here.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't want to just be here to exist.
For sure.
Like, I want to be here to just like have a good time.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that like perspective shift happened. Yeah. Because I think before it was more depressing to just exist.
I mean, yeah, I don't think anyone like enjoys that more.
No.
You know, and I think it's really easy to get into a place like that, obviously, given all these circumstances.
So do you know what you want to do?
Well, I want to do some sort of like charity thing.
Yeah.
It's not all fully fleshed out, but essentially like there's a lot of charities that are focused on like finding a cure and like research, and I think that that's amazing, and I donate to those because I think it's super important, and I would love for this to not exist anymore.
Yeah. But
the reality of it not existing, it's going to be a while before that happens.
Yeah.
And so I think what I think about a lot is like people in my position who don't have a support network, or who don't have funds, or don't have good health care, or things like that. Like, how are they surviving? Right? Like, I was able to like,
I have no idea,
find meaning through my experience only because my needs are met. So like, if my needs were not being met, like, I wouldn't be able to find meaning.
Also, right. Like, we were thinking like, how do other people do this? Like, just like sift through
all this research and
then like have the funds when they can't work to get places to
even
do
to figure
trials.
out how to like apply for disability. Like there's so many things that people don't like, that nobody talks to you about, and you just don't know how to do. And so I think like working with a social worker at a hospital is great, but I also think like things can fall through the cracks. And so if there was a way to like donate money to people who are in those positions, I would like to be able to do that. Yeah, just, you know, being in that position and like having to sacrifice a lot and making the decision to like move to Boston, like that was a privilege. Right. You know? Like,
right. Even though it was like, it
was so hard, but it was a privilege because I knew about the trial, because I got into the trial, because I had the amazing support group that like helped me raise funds to do that. Yeah. And like that could be part of why I'm here.
Sure. And we had, you know, our friends try and like there's like, I don't even know how to say this. We're in the works.
There's things in the works. Yeah. We're trying to plan some like events and like charity things to go along with this.
I know. I'm like, I don't know how much to share.
Fund or whatever. I don't know what we're even going to call it, but essentially.
Well, we do have a name.
Yeah. What is it again?
It's I think it's called the Glassner Brain Cancer Compassion Fund.
Okay, yes.
Is that right?
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, and we basically are just like wanting to partner up with, you know, other organizations that are trying to raise money in this community and are interested in donating to patient needs, you know? Like, as much as I want a cure, like there are a lot of us who are out there struggling and going through
until
it right
we find a cure.
Yeah, like
people still need to be helped.
They need to be helped, and there's lots of ways to do that, and it doesn't look the same for every single person's journey. So that is, I think, the next focus.
Okay, that sounds like a good focus.
Yeah, that's the next focus,
and you can do it in rehab,
in my education portion of rehab.
That's like, I feel like it would kind of be more meaningful in that way.
I know, and that's why I think it's going to be better, because it's still sifting through documents and using my computer and whatever.
And looking to the left.
And scanning the page and all the things. But I get to like put it together in a way that feels meaningful.
Yeah.
Rather than just like answering dumb questions about stories.
And adding with a pencil and paper.
Yeah, they let me use a calculator today though.
Exciting.
And I was like kind of shocked.
It's very exciting.
They never let me use a calculator.
Wow.
Maybe because there were like some more decimal points than usual. I don't know. But whatever.
It's like so silly.
But so that's the update. And I guess, and then just like the best news is that I just have had continued stable scans and that
I know
I've been continuing to get better, like physically and everything. Like, I think what we always look for is just like if someone's condition is worsening. So like when I couldn't move and stuff, like that was sort of a scary moment because it was like, oh, like, is this a sign that like maybe something's not going right in the brain?
Yeah.
But now that we've had a scan, a few of them, it looks like things are sort of like stabilized-ish. And so something I did along the way has led us to this moment. And I don't know what it is, and I don't know what combo of those things it is.
Sure. It sounds like
it doesn't even really matter. But yeah, I'm just going to take it as a win and just keep living while I'm here and not
I feel
trying
like you
to control.
have too, like since you've made that almost like a decision.
Yeah.
I feel like Alex even told me that she came over like impromptu and like you had like people over.
I know.
And she was, I mean, you haven't had.
I know. She was like, it was so nice to see you like with people.
Yeah. And you haven't had, like one of our friends hadn't been here until like I forced a thing.
Yeah.
I feel like.
I know.
She hadn't been here since then. Ariel?
Yeah. But yeah, but I said yes. I was like, yeah.
You said yes.
I said yes.
And in the past, you've said no.
I said no. Yeah. So I'm just like leaning in more and trying to like.
And you have.
Yeah.
Has it been easier?
I mean, yeah, I think so. Like for the most part it has. I've been seeing my family more, like just trying to like, I don't know, like all the things I was like so terrified of losing. It's like, wait, just do them now.
Right.
Like, what are you doing? Like, just do them.
I know. It was really hard for you to do them.
Yeah, I know. Because it was like the stupid things like get in my way. Like
what?
My ego and my pride and me like using a cane and like me having a little droop in my face and stuff like that.
Is that what was getting in the way?
I mean, not just that stuff, but like just having to be on and social and just all the things, you know? Every reason imaginable,
like
you
that
know?
That was present. It showed up.
Yeah, it was just kind of like oh, there's a million reasons to say no, so just like say no, you know?
Yeah,
like you're allowed to say no, Jordy. You're allowed,
which is true.
No, it is true, but
then don't like always say no.
But it also just like doesn't really like help me.
Yeah,
saying no all the time is not. That's not who I am. That's not who I ever was.
Yeah,
I didn't just say no all the time.
I know.
I would just show up and I'd go do things and I'd have fun and. I want to like continue being that person. Obviously, it's going to look a little different.
Sure.
But yeah, like when you guys were like, oh, like what do you like? What's on your bucket list? Like, what do you want to do? And I'm just like, nothing.
Like, well, that's what you said.
I know. I'm like, nothing. It's just the future that I won't be able to see. That's all. And
I know.
Like, that's
well, then what am I supposed to do with that?
No, I had nothing. It's not on you.
The way also that you said it was like it was. You couldn't contest it because you said I've already seen everything and done everything I want, so there's nothing left.
Great, that's just like
and I was like, are you sure? Are you sure? Because like we could go to like a spa resort kind of thing,
right? And then I'm like, no, you can't wheel me around there, okay?
Yeah. And you're like, but then you're like, this is it,
right? I'm just like, no. So there's so many times where I'm just able to say no and like. Say it as a full sentence, and sometimes that's a good thing, and sometimes I think
I know it's hard because it's like always wanting to think about what will actually be good,
like helpful for me. Yeah. And so I think that just doing a lot of reflecting on that over the last week or two.
I mean, I think it's been like I mean, it's just crazy because like 2 weeks ago it was like
you guys walked in and you're like, and I'm like, I'm dying.
Yeah. I don't think anyone could understand.
Like, yeah, I think so too.
I mean, I don't think anyone could understand.
I mean, I was literally laying on the couch, couldn't
juxtaposition of 14 days ago in this moment.
That's what's scary about being a human.
Very scary.
You know what I mean? Like how quickly you're
yeah.
It's actually kind of insane.
It's kind of crazy. And anyone who's listening will just like laugh and
they'll laugh because like I think they'll understand. But like
I literally was like, I'm really gonna miss you because and then I was like, I wonder if I'm saying this too soon, but then I'll regret if I don't say anything. God, right? It's very hard for me sometimes to figure out
where to be.
I
mean, Erica, that's so fair.
Yeah.
That's why I don't call you guys because I'm like, I don't even know how to like tell you how to be here for me. I don't know what I need.
Yeah.
Like, I just leave it up to you guys. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'll talk to you when I talk to you.
I'm like, just don't know.
Yeah. It's very hard to support someone going through something like this because it's honestly, it feels like mania. Like that's what it feels like.
It just feels
like hypomania.
Yeah, like there's some reality that's.
Of course, there's reality to it, and it makes sense why I feel this way.
But then also reality feels distorted.
It is distorted. Yeah. It's all like just fucked up. It's all layers of things being fucked up.
Because I was saying, even listening to the last podcast episode, when I re-listened to it, I was like, was I like being a bitch?
I know you said that to me multiple times.
I know.
And I was like, no, you weren't being a bitch. You were fine.
I know, it's so hard. Because again, anyone else who listens...
They're like, you're such a supportive friend.
Well, no, that's not what I was going to say. No.
That is what they're thinking, though.
No, that's not. Anyone who listens is like, wow, Jordy is... Like, I couldn't even tell that she has brain cancer. There's not any indication from watching or listening.
Oh.
And so then I'm thinking, I feel like I'm kind of a bitchy friend for confirming that like things are different.
No, you're being honest.
I understand. I understand.
Yeah, no, I need reality too.
I get it. You
can't just be like, no, you're fine.
But then listening back to it, just because everything sounds normal in the moment, I feel like
just because I sound normal doesn't mean that like
I'm not
things
saying
are
you're
going
not normal,
well.
but yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But it's like if tomorrow I said, Erica, I think I should drive my car, and you were like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Okay.
Like, don't no, that's not supportive.
You're right.
You'd have to be like, no, Jordy, you can't drive a car tomorrow.
Yeah, correct.
That's not responsible.
Correct. Although, like, you just wouldn't.
I would never. But I'm just saying, like,
yes,
you have to live within the realms of reality.
I know, and sometimes it's hard to know what is reality. Like when you were in the hospital 2.5 weeks ago.
The reality felt like I was never gonna move again.
Yeah.
And then like maybe I'd just be in the hospital forever. Mm-hmm. And then if not, then like maybe I'd just die in my bed. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, like a little bit.
Kind of.
But now you're fully here. That's why I said like you're kind of like a cat.
I just keep coming back.
I feel like we're on like life number 4.
Yeah, I know. I kept thinking about like that medium that we saw.
Oh yeah, I don't think anyone knows.
Oh, we saw this medium, and
with Alex.
He basically said that like
it was so
I've had like a lot of like exit points. My soul.
He's like, wow,
you have so many exit points, like meaning like where my soul has decided doesn't want to leave or not. And I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Like,
given like some people only have one exit point, and that's when they die. Some people have a couple, but he's like, wow, you've had
like so many. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Like a terminal illness will do that to you.
Yeah. And whether or not we believe in the medium, I feel like if that were true, like that was an exit point.
Yeah, that was an exit point.
And your soul was like, no, thank you.
Yeah, I was like, no, I'm good. I'm just gonna keep going.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna keep going.
You're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going.
That's what he said. The medium did say you've chosen treatment and you're gonna like you've stuck with that for now.
Yep.
And he was accurate in that because here I am.
Here you are.
That was a while ago. So
yeah, I feel like a ninja, just like wherever you are, I am.
Also cat-like.
Also cat-like. And it's just like GBM's like,
I know.
It just like camouflages. And
it does. It's just like, it shapeshifts. It does its thing.
And we're just like, wow, watch out.
We're just
we're
like,
here.
Trying to figure out the next move. But yeah, I guess I just have stopped trying to focus so much on like what's coming next and just like,
what's hard too, because there's so much talk about here's your next scan and here's your next thing.
I know, here's your next scan and like how do you have your advance directive ready and like what about your will and like
yeah,
like Yes, I have it ready. Okay.
Yeah, it's hard because you're being forced with.
Yeah, like I have to think about the future, and also I can't spend all my time thinking about the future because then I miss out on now.
For sure. And like all the future oriented things aren't like, here's what's so exciting ahead of you. It's all.
No, it's like kind of depressing stuff. And then it's like, if I miss out on now, then like I'm missing out on the time.
The thing that you're fighting.
The time that I basically been talking about how I don't want to lose. It's like, okay, then don't lose it.
So are there other things you want to do? Not saying we need to come up with a bucket list, but just.
So then I made a bucket list. Okay. That was on the list I made. To be fair, I don't remember what I put in it.
Do you want to check?
Like really late, yeah.
Do you want me to help you?
I have one.
Well, it's just more like the mic is down low.
I know. Hold on, let's see. Okay, where's my bucket list note? Okay, I said I want to go to Yosemite.
Oh, okay.
That's here in California. So
have you never been to Yosemite?
I've never been to Yosemite.
What? Wait, no one can hear you.
Okay. I want to go to Yosemite. I want to do a trip with my family. I think our hope is to do like a Legoland situation for my nephews.
With your family?
For my nephew's birthday.
Oh, okay.
I would like to go back to the San Diego Children's Museum because I think that was really fun.
And not be on phone calls with
like
doctors,
trial people. I would like to get Brody back in swimming lessons and like some other extracurricular.
Well, I already have our swimming lessons planned out for when summer starts. So
oh, okay.
We're good.
And then you do?
Yeah, they just do it over summer, which is annoying.
Oh, I mean.
But there's a place I have in mind.
Okay, great. So you got that taken care of.
Check.
Then, yeah, like I want him to like try soccer again or like gymnastics or like something. I feel like he, I don't know.
Yeah.
Might have an interest in something.
For sure.
Let's explore that.
Let's explore it. Let's see what Brody wants.
What else? Is Terranea still like crumbling?
No, I think it's fine. I think it's stable.
Okay, I'd like to go back there.
Okay.
I have a couple tattoos I need to get.
Okay, yeah.
I want to do like a baking day.
Fun.
Yeah, but like I need help with that because I only have the one arm working super well.
I'll be your other arm.
Thank you. And then I would like to do, I don't know what this means, art day.
Kintsugi?
No, I want to do that too, but I think I had a different thing in mind.
What did you have in mind?
I don't know if it was with her children or if it was just
okay, because it was like a 3 a.m. list.
Yeah, that's what happens when you make lists at 3 a.m.
You don't know.
Then I have on there concert, but I don't have who.
Oh, okay.
Just concert. That's it.
Wow.
So I mean, like more than I had on there before.
Yeah, because you told me.
I said absolutely nothing.
Yeah, you're like, I don't want to leave. Like, I don't
was basically like, I don't need anything now. Like,
yeah.
I just need future. But I don't get that. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So these are things that we can do.
These are some things we can actually do.
I don't know about art day.
Yeah, like, I don't know what that means. Like, what is art day? Well, we never did our sweatshirts. So, like, we should do that.
I have the shirts and the paint.
Okay, so we should do that.
We can do that.
My one arm, still isn't working, but I can try to give a hug.
That should be.
The thing is, like,
you know what? We should do that at PT
as an exercise. They did some like really good stretching in OT yesterday, and I like actually was able to
really
do some stuff. Not with my fingers, but like with my shoulder.
That's great.
Can't really show you in this position.
Okay, that's fine. Then maybe Alex and I, we can have it be like a.
It was really cute. My therapist today was like, if you want your friends to like come like be with you and you plan this.
Oh, that's really
like charity thing. And I'm like, that's really nice.
That's
my
so
friends
sweet.
are like the sweetest, and also they have children and also jobs.
That's really sweet. I did go to one OT with you.
You did, but it was really nice.
That is very sweet.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of other things I want to do, but they'll come to me.
Okay.
Hopefully not at 3 a.m.
Hopefully not 3 a.m. But we can start planning some of these things. So yeah, like Alex and I wanted to go with you to a resort, and you just like I wasn't sure where you were at with it.
I mean, same. I wasn't either.
Yeah.
Because then I took that bath. I got too hot. That scarred me. So then I was like, one of the jacuzzi's too hot and I can't get out.
Right. I mean, like, we're not going to leave you in a jacuzzi.
No, but like physically, you guys can't lift me.
From water? Yeah, we can.
Like out from the water?
Okay, you're not gonna drown. Like, you can sit.
No, I know, but like, what if I need to get out?
We're not gonna go in like 10 feet water.
Right. No, I don't know. Like, my mind like tells me like, oh no, don't go do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, if anyone's feeling crazy,
you're not crazy. Or we're all crazy. We're all a little
crazy.
Did you make any other lists that are important for me to know?
No, those were my main things. Okay. Truly, it was like the list, or not the list. It was my thoughts that turned into my Erica love letter.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Because I was like making all these notes, and then I was like, wait, this actually doesn't sound like this doesn't sound like a revelation. This sounds like I'm writing a love note to
like
Erica.
choking on my spit.
So yeah, that was how that hilarious. Came to be.
That's really funny.
And then I woke up and I like read it to Hank, and he's like, "Oh, that's nice, Jordy. You should read that to Erica."
Oh, is that Grief Street? Because we both just got a notification.
No, it was Instagram.
Yeah.
Oh, I think because Hank put up a poll.
Oh, he put up a picture of us.
Would also love to know.
Would love to know what
Hank thinks that airplane movie. What do you think of as an airplane movie?
I saw his thing. Like, I didn't know what he meant.
Like, what movie are you watching on an airplane?
Okay.
Like, when you go to choose... Oh, God.
I'm still choking on my...
Pretzel?
What? Yeah.
Like, when you think about what you want to watch on an airplane, you go to, like, choose something.
Okay. If I haven't seen a movie...
Okay.
That I've been wanting to see.
Okay.
That's my first ideal pick.
Okay.
And then if that doesn't exist, if I'm like, I've seen all of these movies... I'm going to go for the most enjoyable one.
Okay.
Like a rom-com, like 10 Things I Hate About You.
Got it. Okay.
Okay, what were his poll options?
So Hank said that he thinks of a plane movie as like a comfort watch. Like something that he would watch to like make him happy, like comfortable. And I'm like, that's definitely not what an airplane movie is for me. For me, an airplane movie is, I never want to watch this in like my real life. So I'm just going to like use time on a plane.
I'm more with Hank.
Are you? I'm like, I'm just going to use this time where I'm like trapped in the air to watch this movie that I would not want to watch otherwise.
No, so mine is like, what's a movie, out of all of these movies, what's one that I would actually most want to watch?
Well, I mean, like, I do want to watch some of them, but I just wouldn't take my time out of my day.
To like, what's an example?
The Whale.
What's The Whale?
You have to look it up.
Okay.
It was basically this movie. It was like...
Is it like Octopus's Teacher?
No. It was not about a whale at all.
Okay.
It's actually really sad.
Oh.
It's about this like really obese teacher. I don't know.
Okay.
I'll share it later.
Okay. Like I wouldn't go for like an action movie on a plane.
Right, same.
But I'm saying like I would go for like a rom-com that I've seen before that I know I like. That feels more comfort.
That does feel more comfort.
But that's not my first choice. My first choice is...
something you haven't seen.
Something I haven't seen that, like, seems interesting.
Yeah, but I thought that about with The Whale. But then Hank, like, judged me really harshly for watching The Whale.
Why were you talking about this?
I don't know. We were just
because you weren't
today.
on an airplane. Like,
I know. We were talking about which snack we would bring if we had a 10-hour airplane ride. And
why?
Like, I don't know. Like, what snack would you bring?
No, why were you talking about a 10-hour airplane ride?
We were just talking about snacks. And then we started talking about movies. It just became our conversation.
Like, if I'm like, oh, I've like heard about this movie and I haven't seen it. Yeah, that's how I felt about
The Whale. I was like, oh, I wanted to see this, but like it seemed kind of depressing, so I didn't watch it in my real life. But I'm on this airplane now, so I'll watch it.
When I left Philly after Alex and I thought I was alone, so maybe it was a different flight. Anyway, I ended up watching this like ALS movie, which bad choice.
Oh, I think I remember you telling me
because I was like crying on the airplane.
Yeah,
but I normally, I guess, wouldn't have picked that, but because I hadn't heard of it. And then once I started watching, I couldn't stop watching. Yeah. So I'm in the between.
The thing is, like, I feel like you would watch something like that.
No, you're right. I would.
Yeah. Like, what?
Yeah, you're right. I definitely would.
I'm like, if it came across your desk, you would watch it.
I would watch it, yeah.
For sure.
So, yeah, I guess I'm going for that. But if not, then my default is, like, a good rom-com.
Same. Default would be a good rom-com.
Like, Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Like, I would see that.
Same. But, like, I could watch that movie any day of the week.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. You don't need an airplane.
So I'm going on an airplane. I'm like, oh, I'm going to see what movies they have that I've not seen.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of them was The Whale, and Hank was disgusted by my chores.
Well, now I need to look up The Whale.
Yeah, you can look up The Whale. That's fair. No offense to whoever was in The Whale. Like, but.
Just wasn't.
I mean, it was kind of sad. I mean, it was really sad.
So you did watch it?
Oh, no, I fully watched it on the plane. And he judged me harshly.
Wait, you watched it on a plane?
I did.
What plane?
I can't remember.
I didn't know that this was actually a plane. I thought you were...
No, I was on a plane with Hank. And I decided I wanted to watch The Whale. And
but then you just so happened to be talking about this.
Today at lunch, we were just talking about movie.
And he didn't know that you watched The
Plain
Whale.
snacks. No, he knew I did watch it. And then he judged me. And then he outed me on Instagram about it.
Did he tell people what it was?
Yes. I think he did.
I just saw the poll.
Which
and
is
I was
fine.
like, I wonder which one Jordy chose and which one is Hank.
I said you can have both. And he didn't like that answer. He was like, no, it has to be one or the other.
Well, he did give an option for both.
I know, because I made him. I was like, Hank, you can't be so all or nothing.
It's like on your Instagram.
Oh, my personal one?
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you not know that?
Yeah, I'm just like, what? Yeah, I'm just like, this is
all... Is The Whale an airplane movie?
I'm just like, you can't be so all or nothing, you know?
Everyone said both somehow. Most people.
I know, because people can see in the gray.
72% of people said it's not an airplane movie.
I understand also why they would say
I
that.
did say yes just to support you.
Thank you. I understand why they would say no. I do.
Okay, now I have to look at this later. Okay, well, anyways,
I'm glad that
I'm glad that we decided to go on, and I love you.
Yeah, we're back. You know, we're back as much as we can be.
Yeah.
And the hope
a lot of shit has happened.
A lot of shit has happened, but hopefully things continue going up.
Oh, and also I got offered water this time.
Oh yeah, she did.
And coffee. They offered me coffee.
Can you believe that? 2 beverages. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Like, they offered me coffee every day.
Wow.
I said no, but...
Why?
Because Ramsey and I would switch, and then I would get, like, a good coffee.
Good coffee, okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's hope you don't have any more hospital stays for, like, a really long time.
For sure.
I mean, hopefully forever, but,
forever, yeah.
A really long time.
I was just like, wow. I was offered water immediately.
UCLA.
Yeah.
You know what's up.
Yeah, you know what's up. You know how to offer people water.
And,
But yeah, I love you, Jordy.
I love you too. And we appreciate you guys just, like, being interested and invested in not just my journey, but honestly our silliness.
I know.
And our relationship. And all I'll say is that if you find someone in your life and you're like, that person makes me feel really seen and I really like being around them, you should probably just be around them more.
Yeah. Don't let go.
Don't let go. Just hold on for dear life.
Hold on. Also, sorry, side note, I'm noticing you have like a new fish pillow.
Oh, it's Brody's feelings pillow.
Oh.
He's kind of like going through a little bit of a hitting phase.
Yeah. So
not a little, it's a lot.
I feel like he needs a better, I mean, not better, just like.
I mean, my mom bought that for him. I don't know.
Does he punch the fish?
No, but we got the punching bag.
Yeah, for him.
Yeah.
Does he use it?
Yeah, he uses both. He'll be like, I want my feelings pillow.
That's so cute.
I'm like, okay, great. And then if he's mad, I'm like, oh, you can go hit your blow up punching bag or whatever. So it's working-ish. But yeah, he like, I don't know. I say to him like, Brody, like, we need to be gentle. And he just says, I don't want to. Like,
he's going through a lot.
Conversation later, but
yeah,
just like he has a lot going on. You know? Yeah, his little life has been hard.
Yeah, it is hard.
Yeah, and he's just like at that age where like hitting is just like easier than expressing yourself, I guess. Sure. And like hitting's fun, you know? Like he thinks it's fun. And we'll be like, Brody, that doesn't make us feel good. And he's like, well, it makes me feel good. That's what he says. Yeah.
Oh, Brody.
Yeah, like he'll just like somehow turn it around on us. It's just, yeah.
Well, we can talk offline.
Okay. Anyways, thanks, friends. Bye. Thanks so much for listening to Grief Street. We put out new episodes every Monday. If you'd like to support us, give us a follow on Instagram and TikTok. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel to find the video version of our episodes. Please subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts and give us a 5-star review. We would love to hear from you and get some feedback. If you'd like to contact us, please email griefstreetpodcast@gmail.com or leave us a voicemail at 508-474-3378. That's 508-GRIEFST. Our theme song is Hepcat Jive, courtesy of purpleplanet.com. We'll see you next time.